Hello, I'm Juliette. I'm a French artist, painter, and photographer. But I decided to learn to make video games and I don't know anything about it. So I really wanted to document all this process, maybe so you can be entertained, but mostly so I can keep this in memory and I want to be able to see what I am learning. This was my first days of coding and I discovered something that is very new to me, that is very interesting, but so much difficult and time consuming, and I'm not a patient person. I keep in this notebook everything that I do every day, what I want to implement and what it is working and what is not. So let's go. First thing was to choose a software and I choose Game Maker because I just wanted to do a 2D platformer and it seems the best option, but I starting to regret maybe because there is not as much as tutorials online as other softwares. On my first day, the goal was to have a character that can move left and right and jump and falls, and it went well. And I also draw some design so it can be cute. The next day I wanted interactions already, so I make doors that can move the player to a room to another, and this is going very fast for someone who doesn't know anything about coding, but this is because I'm guilty of using ChatGPT. I wanted to be motivated and to know that if I put some line of code in the software, something pretty will appear, and ChatGPT was the shortcut for it. I quickly realized that that was not going to work because I wasn't learning a lot of things, and also because ChatGPT was good for giving me one way, a small way to do things, but it wasn't a good system. So January 1st, it was my first day of real coding because I made a character that can also move right and left and jump and fall, but I've made it entirely. I type every letter and every words. I also realized at this moment that I was going to fix a lot of bugs because I made a lot of typing mistakes. The next days I keep going with the tutorials. It was a lot of parts. I learned about script that allows you to write line of code in another place because I realized also that it can be a huge mess in the code and you need to be very organized, and that's when I encountered a new big mistake and it was a big lesson. We were implementing a lot of new things and I had so many bugs that I was not able to fix them, and I can't return to a previous version of my player because there wasn't one. So after that day I decided that every few hours I was keeping a save of the code of the player. So I've redone it from scratch a third time, but with saves of my player at every step. The tutorials were coyote time, sprite animations, and going up and down slopes. January 6th, I wrote: Je reprends pour la troisième fois la vidéo partie 6. Ok pour monter et descendre les pentes. Tant pis pour le reste. I will say it in English for you. I am redoing for the third time this tutorial part 6. I'm able to go up and down slopes and fuck the rest. I wrote it in a very more polite way. So it was the end of this series of tutorial. I decided that I've earned the right to make it more cute, so I've drawn a little donkey, so it will be the player, and I've downloaded some images. Honestly, it was hard, all of it, and this is my biggest other lesson. I won't be able to do my dream game. I really need to learn a lot. I first need to make small games. My first step outside the tutorials was to give my donkey a little follower, and it would be a dog. It took me one day. I was using tutorials and ChatGPT to implement certain things a certain way. So the dog looked in my direction. He follows me if I'm too far away from him, and he can jump over obstacles that are in his way. He is follow me like a little dog, and this is perfect because he is a little dog. Next day, again, I thought that I coded well, so I earned another recreation to draw. I am an artist, and this game, because I started to have a pretty good idea of what I wanted to do, I wanted to have a good mood, and I really needed to work on the visual. So I choose the color palette. It is very small, but it's perfect because it's easier to give a certain atmosphere with less colors. And I've drawn the other animals. I wanted them to fit well in the game and also together. January 9th, I returned back to coding to make a menu and like a UI, because at this point when you start the game, like, the game is starting and I wanted to have a start menu. It was very difficult. For now, it kind of works. It's not really good. I've used the UI folders of Game Maker and I really don't like it, and I don't find good tutorials on it, so it's enough for the moment. And after all of that, it was my first 10 days of coding. It was hard, but so interesting. I've watched maybe hundreds of YouTube videos, and it's so stimulating for me as an artist. There isn't a lot of activities that require so much diversity in your creativity. And thank you for watching this video so far. I'm really optimistic about it, and please, if you have any advice to give me or resources or experience, you can in the comments. I will be very happy to read you. And if you are like me, a person who is very a stranger to all of these things, I think it's cool that you can discover it with me. Thank you again, and see you in the next video.